Hello, it's Andrine, a Jewish American priestess. I usually light a candle, but today it's about 90 degrees where I am, so I'm not going to do that. And today I'm bringing you a reading for the new moon of Tammuz, which is coming in for me where I am this evening. Tammuz is the Hebrew month where we recognize the heat of the summer. And Tammuz actually is a reference to an ancient Sumerian god named Dumuzid, who died and went into the underworld. And in other cultures all around the world, there are a variety of agricultural gods who would die at this time of year because it's so hot. And today is that perfect day for this. So we're coming into the new moon of Tammuz, and we're going to do a full cast reading today using the Hebrunes. I'm just going to stir them up, cast the entire set down, and then we'll move the reading from there. So let's see what's up. Let me move this mirror out of the way. Let's see what's up for the incoming month of Tammuz. Okay, so the way I do a full spread reading usually is I'll take out every Hebrune that's face down. So let's see what is left once we do that. I do tend to leave the blank in there when I find it, so let's see if there it is. Okay, and everybody else comes out. Okay, so then the way we look at this in this sort of reading is about center in the reading is what our path line is. Everything above is helping us out, and everything below is maybe a challenge for us. So I'm going to zoom in a bit so we can see a little closer. And I'm going to count the center of our reading is this letter right here, and it is the letter Tav. Tav is the final letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and it's the letter that's affiliated with the moon in the sky. So this is perfect. The moon is coming in new, and Tav being the final letter of the alphabet, it's about endings and new beginnings, and that's perfect for this moment. Tav is also the letter that represents a stamp or a seal, something that has been signed by the divine. And so in that case, I think of it in terms of our ancestors stamping their DNA onto us, and these cycles that we go through of death and rebirth and rebuilding again. So as we come into the new moon, this center Tav right here is perfect for that. And then as far as the rest of the path is concerned, well, I'm going to go up. I think what I'll do is I'll go up, and then I'll come back to some of these that are a little bit sort of pathish, but maybe slightly lower. So right above the Tav in this reading, we have the letter Ayin. I did turn this, it landed this way, but I'm going to go ahead and turn it upright as I read them. So the letter Ayin right above this is the letter that means an eye, and it's the number 70 in Gematria. So to that end, it represents a large ending. 7 is the number of days of creation, times 10 is an ultimate manifestation of that ending. So something has come to an end, it's probably the previous month, and maybe something else in your life has come to a great end or a finish, not an ending so much as a completion. Something of creation has been completed, like that 7 days of creation. Maybe you've been working on a project that has now come to an end. For me, I just finished my first year with Judaism Unbound on Yeshiva certificate program. So a lot of times graduations are happening at this time of year. School seasons are coming to an end. Some large thing has come to an end. I love that Ayin is affiliated with laughter in the Sefer Yetzirah, the book of creation. So we've come to an end. We're celebrating. We're with joy. We're coming to a place of laughter, and we're seeing our way forward. And maybe we're also being watched over by divinity as we come to this completion of something we've created, or something that we've created or has been a journey for us. So I love that right here above this Tav, where we've got the moon cycle ending, but then something maybe even larger ending. A little bit up and to the right of that, we have the letter Mem. And Mem is the mother letter of water. It is the letter that represents the winter in the year, and water, birth, quenching, cleansing that happens. And we need a lot of water right now in this season. So this is what's going to help us get through right now is water. So make sure you hydrate or dihydrate. Make sure that you are well hydrated as we move into the season, those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, and that you are leaning into that sense of transformation, that sense of cleansing that's happening. Maybe with these changes and endings, something is transforming as well. Maybe you need to get into some water, maybe go get into a lake or a stream or a river or the ocean itself and feel the mother of the water surrounding you like the amniotic fluid of a womb. So lean into some water, that's going to help. The thing right above the mem is the resh. Resh is the letter that means new, head, beginning. Rosh Chodesh, Rosh Hashanah. It means a head. So a head of a baby pushing through that womb space of the mem. Something is beginning again. So start something new. Lean into that new beginning that's coming in. Make sure you tend to the seeds that you've planted. This is the binary transformation of seed and barrenness. So seeds that have been planted do need to be nurtured with water. So make sure you water the seeds that you've planted. Use your head. Use your intellect. Let the newness come in, but do take care to protect those seeds that you've planted so that they don't wither on the vine. And over here to the right of that resh, we have the pei. And pei is the mouth of the divine, speaking creation into existence. So speak what you'd like to see happen. Make sure you say that out loud, at least to yourself and to the universe, if not to another person or a group. Make sure that you are speaking words of blessing. This is the binary transformation of grace and ugliness. So make your words beautiful. Don't curse that which you don't like, but actually speak forward what you'd like to see in the world and let that creation come in. This is the wheel, the spiral of time in Hebrew. So let that time cycle and spiral around like the moon does, and say what you need to say so that those realities can come into being. And over to the left here, above the ayin, we have the letter zayin, and zayin is a sword or a scepter. So grab hold of your sovereignty. It's also affiliated with the day of rest. It's the number 7 in Gematria. So we have 70 here, and we have 7 right above that. Another completion. And that completion corresponds to Shabbat rest. So the Shekhinah, who is the Shabbat bride, is the sovereign of that day. And she asks us to take time to rest, because rest is a holy act. So make sure you're resting now that you've completed your creation, whatever it might be, and grasp the sovereignty that is inherent for you in order to take this moment to celebrate, to defend your creation, whatever it might be, and rest right now. Enjoy that. Rest in the arms of the Shekhinah. Above that, we have the letter Chet. And Chet is the letter that begins the word Chai, meaning life. So since it was upside down, I'm just going to read that as in internal life. You're really leaning into your internal sense of life and livelihood, Chaim. It's also about contracts and commitments. So make some commitments with yourself, maybe with the divine. Make sure that you are feeling confident in the contracts that you make right now. But make sure that you're confident internally, because again, upside down above the line could mean internal. So Chai, reach into your life force and really feel that for yourself as you're finishing up whatever it is you're finishing here, and the moon is cycling. So over to the right on that path line, we have the letter Tzadi. Tzadi is the letter that means justice, tzedek, or tzadik, meaning a righteous person. But one of the things I love about Tzadi is that it also looks like a tree. And so it, for me, harkens to the Asherah, the goddess who dwells in the trees. We're on our way to growth. We're on our way toward justice. We're hunting for that righteousness in our life, and finding ourselves in a way of mutual aid, both asking for help when we need it and giving help when we can. So I love this on our path, that we're coming toward righteousness. And that comes in the place of maybe earth justice, taking care of the trees, making sure, again, those seeds don't die, and that you're watering those trees so that they can grow to be lush and large and bear fruit in the end. So yeah, Tzadi here, right on our path line. And to the left on our path line, we have the Ein Sof. That's the blank. And it's the unknown. So maybe we're coming from a place of unknown and moving toward justice, or we're coming from a place of justice and moving into the unknown, depending on what direction you read. I read left to right because I spoke English as a first language. So maybe we've come from this place of the infinite possibility, and we're coming through a place of transition and completion and moving toward a place of justice, and leaning into those trees, breathing the air that the trees are providing. The Ein Sof is about boundlessness and the unknown and the void, that deep place of unknowing, but it's also the divine. It's the substrate onto which all the letters are carved. So the divine is here on our path, holding us and giving us raw materials from which to create anew. Below the line, we have 3 letters. I'll start with the left. We have both the Hey and the Yud. And the Yud is sitting on top of the Hey. The Hey is about presence. Hineni means here I am, available and ready for service to the divine. And it's below the line, so maybe we're having a challenge showing up right now. Maybe it's tricky, especially after we finished something. Maybe we don't want to show up, we want to take a rest. That's okay, we have the ability to rest up here as well. But the challenge might be in our being afraid to show up for service. Maybe we've completed something and now we don't want to start something new. And so we're a little bit afraid when we hear the name, our names called by the divine, that we don't really want to say Hineni right now. That's a valid concern, but be aware of that. Be aware of that hesitation when you receive a call for a new adventure. And on top of it, we have the letter Yud, and that's interesting because that's the first letter of the divine name, the Yud He Vav He. It's also a seed being planted. So my suspicion here, with these two sitting right on top of each other, basically touching, is that we've got this new thing coming in, a seed that's being planted. We're being called into a new direction, maybe, or to start a new project, and we're not sure we want to do it right now. We're just a little bit funny about it. So if that's the case, bring yourself back up to this moment of rest, this moment of celebration and laughter for what you've completed, and that life, that internal sense of chai is within you, that the divine is on your path line, that you can start anew, that we can water those things and speak into existence what we'd like to see. So if those concerns are there, be acutely aware of them and turn to the positive things above the line that will help you transform them. And over here on the lower right, the one letter that's left in our reading is the Aleph. The Aleph is the first letter of the Aleph Bet, and it means one. And it means power, reaching up with your ability to grasp toward the heaven and planting yourself deep in the earth, the balance of above and below, and just taking a breath. So just take a breath. And it might be challenging to breathe right now. It might be a real big challenge to take that breath and start again. But it is a starting place, right? So Aleph is the one. So it's where we start from. We start by breathing. And it's right below the tree here, which I love. The trees which give us the breath and the air. So if we're having trouble taking that breath and to meditate or to just stop and take a breath, lean into the trees. I mean, it says we're right here below the tree. So take a breath. Start again. Again, the seed and the one are both here, that we're being called into service, and these are the challenges that we're having right now. Transformation is happening at this new moon. We'll be able to see our way forward. We can grasp our sovereignty. We can set good boundaries and contracts for ourselves. Know that the divine is right with us on the path. Take a dunk into some water, get cooled off. Know that the gestation is here, helping you to nurture the seeds that are being planted, and speak what you'd like to see into existence. Really think about it. Really think with your head what you would like the world to look like for yourself in this coming month. And when we do, say it out loud. Say it out loud. Write it down. Say it out loud to yourself. Say it out loud to the divine. You don't have to say it to another person, but you do need to speak and really articulate what you would like to see in the world. And when you do, you'll have the ability to do that transformation, to move forward toward justice, and maybe release some of these fears about starting again, about planting a seed, about being called toward divinity. Both the Aleph and the Hey remind me of meditation practices. So it might be challenging to meditate right now. That's okay. That's okay. If it is, again, go sit with the trees, dunk in some water, start just taking care of yourself and taking a rest. You've done an amazing job. Something has come to a great end. The moon is transforming in the sky. Really lean into the darkness of the moon. Let yourself go into that underworld place and rest during this heat time. And then when you rise up, you'll be able to see again the right way forward toward justice. Thank you so much for watching this reading today. I hope you have a beautiful new moon of Tammuz, and I will look forward to seeing you here next time. Shavua Tov and Chodesh Tov.